So let's go back to basics with this, just in case anyone's not that familiar with the if statements. So we'll start off just by showing you what the logic screen is and where you would find it. So if you go into your Invent tab inside InDesign, go to the Variables tab, and then amongst these buttons you've got at the top of the screen, you've got the Setup Logic button. That will open up a separate window when my laptop cooperates. Now, I've got a lot of statements and rules and stuff already set up in here. You'll start off with something very, very empty in here. And what you say is add logic. That will create you the start of a new if statement. And all you're doing is you're putting in the name and description, just so you know what this is actually controlling. And in a nutshell, you're creating conditions. And this could be sort of if a variable is set to a certain value. So I'll just do one as an example. If one of my variables, let's say child variable, equals one of the options that the child variable can be, then a certain action will happen. And this action can be a lot of different things, as we've talked about. So it can be modifying one of the variables again, or it can be modifying one of the fields that are actually on your canvas. There's loads of things it can modify that we'll show you. So for example, I could say, let's say my parent variable is hidden, for example. Now, an important thing to note when you're actually creating these if statements, especially if you're brand new to it, is you do need to round out the statement. So even if this is my critical thing here, so if my child variable is set to 1, I want to hide the parent variable, we also need to specify what happens in the opposite state. So at the moment, this is kind of an open-ended statement. It's only looking at one particular thing and isn't covering the alternative. And we do this with an else. So we can say add else at the bottom of the screen here, and that's just giving us the action if this condition is not met. So basically it's covering all the bases. It makes sure that we're covering all potential conditions. So in this case, I might say that the parent variable is to be shown. And that would cover everything in our basic if statement.